we have another Jump at the Sun classic. So before I read this book, let's first talk about the different parts of the book. What part of the book is this? You're right, it's the back cover. What part of the book are these big words here? The title, okay. What part of the book is this? The spine, okay. And what is this whole part of the book? The front cover, correct. Okay, so the name of this story is Jack and the Beanstalk. And of course, because it's a Jump at the Sun classic, we can see the color of his skin is nice and brown like ours. Okay. Jack and the Beanstalk. Once upon a time, there lived a widow and her foolish son, Jack. Jack spent too much and did too little. You have made us poor, Jack, his mother said. All we have left is Bessie. You must go into town and sell her so we can buy food. Well, Jack walked toward town. Soon he happened upon an old man. It would be easier to sell the cow to the man than to walk into town, Jack thought. Sir, would you like to buy this fine cow? The man laughed. She's not worth a hill of beans. In fact, you'd be lucky to get these 5 beans for her. It's a deal, foolish Jack said and hurried home. When Jack's mother saw what he had done, she grabbed the beans and flung them out the window. Thank goodness your father is not alive to see how foolish you are. Each of them went to bed without any supper. Each of them went to bed without knowing the beans were magic. Whoa, look at that. The next morning, they awoke to a giant surprise. Giant? What does giant mean? A giant surprise. Look at this. Is this small or is this big? Does that tell you what giant is? That's a picture clue. The next morning, they awoke to a giant surprise. What fun, Mother, Jack said. I'm going to climb this beanstalk. You stay put, Jack, said his mother. You have chores to do. But being quite foolish, Jack didn't listen. Jack climbed and climbed past his house, past the trees, past the birds, past the clouds, and into the sky until he reached the top. He was starving, and there in the distance before his eyes was a giant castle. There's that word giant again. Surely there will be lots to eat there, he thought. In an instant, a fairy appeared. When you were a baby, your father was killed by a giant man living in that castle. He wanted your father's riches, and your father would have shared with him, but the giant was selfish, like you, said the fairy. But if you can recover the 2 magical items the giant stole from me, you will prove that you are no longer selfish and restore happiness to your mother's heart. The fairy vanished. Whoosh! Disappeared. That's what vanish means. Disappeared. Jack felt awful. He walked and walked. Oh, he was pooped. He knocked on the door of the giant castle. Boom, boom, echoed through the sky. A giant woman opened the door. Look at Jack there. That just goes to show you how giant this castle was and how giant this woman is. What do you want? She asked. I'm starving, Jack said. Could I have a bite to eat? My husband likes to feed on human flesh, she warned. But she felt sorry for Jack, and she gave him stale bread and let him hide in the oven. In the oven? Is that a good idea? I don't know. Let's see about this. Let's see how this story goes. Then the earth began to quake. Rumble, rumble, shake, shake. Fee, fi, fo, foy. I smell the blood of a foolish boy. Be he alive or be he dead, I'll grind his bones to make my bread. Jack gagged on his food, and he spied on the hideous giant. Hideous? That's a hard word, but I'm going to let you know when something is hideous, it is not pretty, okay? There's no human here, the giant's wife insisted. You're smelling the fellow you ate last night. The giant sat down to eat his supper. Then he called on his wife to bring him his silver and gold. After she went to bed, he counted his coins over and over. Soon, the giant dozed off. Jack crept out of the oven. My father's money, he thought. He collected the coins and made his way down the beanstalk towards home. Jack and his mother lived comfortably for a while, but then Jack fell into his old ways and he spent too much and did too little. Jack thought about it, and he thought about what the fairy had said. I must go back up the beanstalk, Jack said. Please do not, said his mother. It's too dangerous. Oh, well, we're almost out of money, said Jack. I will make it up to you. And he disguised himself and scaled the beanstalk. That means climb the beanstalk. Boing, boing, echoed through the sky. Jack pleaded with the giant's wife to let him in. I took pity on a boy a while ago, and he stole from us, she said. But she gave in, and she hid Jack in a pot. First, she hid him in the oven. Then she hid him in a pot. These don't seem like very good ideas to me. The earth began to quake. Rumble, rumble, shake, shake. Fee, fi, fo, foy. I smell the blood of a foolish boy. Be he alive or be he dead, I'll grind his bones to make my bread. Oh, you're smelling the remains of last night's dinner, said the giant's wife. And the giant gave up looking and ate his supper. Wife, bring me the goose that lays golden eggs. Jack's eyes widened. Ooh. If I can't have humans for supper tomorrow, then I will have fowl, said the giant. Lay, he commanded, and the goose laid a beautiful golden egg. Jack could tell the magical creature belonged to the fairy. Soon the giant fell asleep, and Jack grabbed the goose and ran down the beanstalk. Jack and his mother shared their wealth with poorer people. You are becoming more like your father, his mother said one day. I must go up the beanstalk one last time, Jack told his mother. This time, she did not argue. Her young boy was turning into a young man. Jack climbed up the beanstalk and walked, dressed like a lady, to the giant's castle. Boing, boing, echoed through the sky. The giant woman opened the door. Jack politely begged her for a bite to eat, but the giant's wife was dead set against it. Eventually, she gave in, but this time she hid Jack in the cookie jar. And just in time, too, because... What do you think? Because what? You will not believe this? All right, I'm going to show you. The earth began to quake. Rumble, rumble, shake, shake. Fee, fi, fo, foy. I smell the blood of a foolish boy. Be he alive or be he dead, I'll grind his bones to make my bread. The giant stormed through the castle, looking for boys to eat. He even opened up the oven and felt around inside. Good thing he wasn't in there anymore. Frustrated, he said, "Woman, bring me my harp." "Sing," he commanded. The harp sang. Then the giant drank and fell fast asleep. Jack climbed out of the jar. He lifted the harp onto his back. Just then, the giant awoke. "Uh-oh." "Ha!" he screamed. Jack tore off his dress and raced toward the beanstalk with the giant stumbling close behind. He might have caught up with Jack if he hadn't been so drunk. He drank too much apple juice, guys. My axe, Jack called to his mother. He dropped the harp and hurried down the beanstalk as quickly as he could, jumping to the ground at the bottom. Then he chopped the beanstalk into two, and that was the end of the giant. Instantly, the fairy appeared. "You have recovered my belongings, and you have changed your heart. Your mother will be proud of you for all time." And do you know what? The fairy was right. Jack and his mother bought Bessie back from the old man, and they were happy and generous to everyone from that day forward, even giants. The end. I hope you guys enjoyed that fairy tale. That's, again, one of my favorites, and the Jump at the Sun classics definitely are my favorite. Have a great day.